A devotee asks, how to increase our faith or devotion towards our Ishta?
Our faith and devotion for our Ishta can be increased in a very beautiful manner if we just look into the statements of our Bhakti Shastras. One of the principles which is very important for us to understand is love grows through association. When we are continuously in association with a person, when we are continuously in an unbroken manner living with some person, even in the world, if we just look into how relationships become stronger and stronger, it happens through continuous association. When a person is living with another person in continuous association, and when there is a certain kind of a relationship, then that relationship or the trust or faith becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So love grows through continuous association. If we follow this principle, we should remember that our closeness to the Ishta will depend upon how continuously we are associated with our Ishta. Again, let me repeat this point. This continuous association through some kind of a relationship, with some kind of an attitude towards the Ishta, which will further strengthen our so-called relationship with the Ishta. That is the principle. So to do that, our Bhakti Shastra prescribes 5 modes, 5 kinds of relationship which we can establish towards our Ishta. Now, who is our Ishta? Number 1, Ishta is the ultimate reality in a certain form, Brahman in a certain form, or the Atman in a certain form. So, the jiva or the individual being needs to continuously associate with this reality in and through certain kind of a relationship. So the Bhakti Shastras have prescribed 5 kinds of relationships. Like in a Sanskrit term, it says Shanta Bhava, Dasya Bhava, Sakhya Bhava, Vatsalya Bhava, and Madhura Bhava. So these are the 5 kinds of relationship. So the Shanta Bhava is that attitude, the attitude which is practiced by the great rishis, in which the so-called the individual looks upon the Ishta or the chosen deity with a sense of awe and reverence. And that is how he is continuously in association with his chosen deity. This is one mood or one kind of a mental attitude towards one's Ishta. The second is so-called Dasya Bhava, where the individual takes the position of being a servant and the chosen deity or the Ishta to be the master. And this person is in continuous association with the Ishta in and through this kind of a master and servant attitude. The third one is Sakhya Bhava. Sakhya Bhava is the attitude of friendship, where the individual looks upon the chosen deity as a friend and freely interacts or associates with the Ishta with this kind of an attitude. And the fourth attitude is the attitude of looking at the Ishta as one's own child and associating with the Ishta in and through that kind of a mood. And the last attitude is the attitude of considering the Ishta as one's own sweetheart or soulmate, just like the relationship between a husband and a wife. This is known as Madhura Bhava. In all these things, we can see one thing. That is, every succeeding attitude is more and more intense and stronger as far as our closeness to Ishta is concerned. So the Bhakti Shastras prescribe that we can take up one of these so-called 5 attitudes, and in and through that, we can continuously associate with our Ishta. As I said in the beginning, love grows through continuous association. When we are continuously associating with our Ishta, continuously thinking about our Ishta, praying to him, talking to him, repeating his name, reading his teachings, and trying to live our life according to our Ishta's teachings, through this continuous association, what happens is our love, our faith for the Ishta goes on strengthening day by day. This is how we can strengthen our so-called faith and our love for our Ishta in our day-to-day life.
There is a follow-up to this question. The devotee asks, how can I feel that the Ishta is guiding us towards moksha?
Our Ishta's guidance, for understanding our Ishta's guidance or Ishvara's guidance in our so-called spiritual life, we need not wait for some supernatural event to take place. Most of the people, they wait for some vision or some darshana to take place or some supernatural, miraculous event to take place to understand the presence of our Ishta in our life or to understand the presence of Ishvara in our life. No, that is not necessary at all. In fact, that our Ishta is guiding us in our day-to-day life can be understood by one yardstick. When we as spiritual aspirants, we begin to practice Vairagya more and more, that is the sign of Ishvara's Anugraha or the Ishta's Anugraha, direct presence in our life. When the spiritual aspirant is growing in purity, that is the proof of your Ishta's direct intervention and presence in your life. When we are growing in our bhakti, that is the sign of our Ishta's direct presence and intervention in the form of Anugraha in our life. When we are becoming more and more unselfish, that is the proof of our Ishta's direct presence and intervention in our journey towards moksha. So, our Ishta's or Ishvara's presence and guidance in our life need not be physical. For that, we need not wait for some supernatural event to take place. We need not wait for some darshan or vision to take place. That is not the real criteria. The real criteria of our Ishvara's presence in our life is these factors. The more and more we grow in purity, the more and more our desires are lessened. We become desireless. We become selfless. We become more and more steadfast in our clinging to the ultimate reality. These are the signs and indicators of the direct presence of Ishvara in our life's journey towards moksha.